Good morning, everybody. Hope you can hear me. Sorry that I'm late. A few minutes. NinjaTrader's still firing up. I couldn't get my data to connect. It was red and then all yellow, and so sometimes you just got to restart everything. So I tried doing it twice without it connecting, and then just had to shut down everything and restart the whole deal. So it's just getting loaded up. It's still calculating. Volume profile up there, and Delta's down here still calculating. You can see it there. So, but we are green, so it should pop up here pretty quick. My bear guy isn't up yet either. Let's see if I can get him going. While this all loads, let's take a look at what we got going on this morning. Few levels here still marked out from yesterday, which I can probably take off. Still thinking about that delta and volume profile. How's everybody doing today? How did the rest of your trading session go yesterday? Anybody get any good ones? Catch any big fish yesterday? Volume. I hope everybody can hear me okay. So we can take a real quick peek at what we saw going on yesterday. Hey Calvin, hey Stream and Shout. Prima BDM, thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate you guys coming each morning. It's really encouraging and helps me keep doing this, knowing you guys are going to be around. Yeah, Stream and Shout. I can talk about that more. I just been watching the markets for however long. Those 30s and 90 levels, price really seems to react to them, and I'm not sure why, but they do. I've got maybe a couple theories why, but those are kind of big numbers for me. But what we can look at real quick is what happened yesterday in the market open. If you remember yesterday, this was the gap down on the weekend, Sunday night. Then we had some selling coming in. This was essentially just one big move, and then we kind of had it drift up. In the pre-market, we came up to the upper end of the band yesterday, and if you watched yesterday's live stream, or you can watch that also on it's on YouTube if you just want to go back and look at the live streams. We kind of called out, we didn't call out, I don't want to say we called out. We were looking at this area as a big area of resistance, just the upper end of the band. You know, we had big negative news coming in over the weekend. This thing was going to come down. We also saw Europe was down a ton. And so we took a short on the break of this trend line, which just took a couple little scalps in there for like $1,300. But by the end of the day, the move did come all the way down to the other side of the band. And that would have been my final target on it down here, particularly on this candle, on that thing right there in the hourly. If you could have caught that and picked up this, that would have been another nice trade, but I did not trade that. I called it quits for the day. So a lot of selling going on yesterday. We were really punching down on this thing. It was interesting when I woke up this morning. I took a peek on my phone at just what the markets were doing, and I saw price doing that. It was right up here. We had broken above this high, and this was just at like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. my time, Central Time. And I saw price moving up like that, and I was like, oh man, we're gonna have the exact same setup as yesterday. We're gonna come up, we're gonna hit the upper end of the band, and then we're gonna roll over on the market open. But price has already decided to roll over before it got all the way up to the top of the band. We can see an LVN right here. So that I don't have a volume profile on my phone, so I didn't see that. My guess was that it was going to come up to 13,500, which was also the upper band on the 1 hour before it decided to roll over. But it's already kind of starting to look bearish. This candle right here looks pretty bearish to me. And you break that low, definitely a scalp in there for you. The bottom end of the band would probably be a target on it, but it's pre-market. So, this thing may chop around for a little bit. Let's do our normal routine. If you're new to the channel, thanks a lot for jumping in. Appreciate you taking the time to hear my 2 cents about what's going on in the market. We're obviously in this bearish downtrend. We've got this, down channel going on since early January. And then Ukraine has fueled this thing to push even lower. A lot of this is just on inflation and interest rate hikes. And also the market is just up crazy high. It's gotta come down. I mean, it's been up on a tear since March of 2020, and we're now finally coming down a little bit from that, and it's got to do it. So if you can recognize it, you can probably profit from it as well in the short term, and then probably hold on to your cash and buy back into it. I would say probably this summer or the fall or something. Anyways, that's too long term for me. I'm looking to see what it's going to do today because I trade intraday on this thing, and I'd like to take some profits today. I'm trying to get my bear dude working quick. Man, I'm just having technical difficulties after technical difficulties today. Well, we'll try to get him working at some point. We may have no bear today. Oh, bear, my poor bear. All right, well, let's look at, I usually have a little bear avatar that's somewhere around here, but what's going on? Market's gonna open in 10 minutes. Bear, you're gonna have to wait. All right, so here was yesterday, a ton of selling. I mean, I think today may be a rest day. I'm not gonna buy it. No way I would be buying this thing. Overall market conditions are bearish. But you may see it come up, it may need to, have some relief from all that selling that came through yesterday. Today may be a rest day, or you may see a continuation down to 13,000, but we are at the lower end of the band here on the daily. However, if we look at just what's happened before, price hasn't respected that lower band too much. We can see here we've just skidded down through it. What it has respected a little bit is a 20 SMA, kinda. I mean, up here we pinned through it, but that's not really in play today. There's no way it's coming up to 14,000. So I'm looking to take shorts on it. I think it could possibly push down some more, maybe down to 13,000. There is this support level down here at 13,000-ish area. I think it could push through that. We may come all the way down to 12.8 at the bottom of this channel here. We'll do that today. May do that this week, unless there's some really positive news coming out of Ukraine, which I don't see happening. Let's see, the 4-hour. I'm going to take this off of the 4-hour. That's not really giving me much. I'm not seeing much on the 4-hour here. I would be looking at some areas of resistance. The only thing I would see on the 4-hour, it would be the 20 SMA. I don't think it's going to get up there today, though. All right, so the 1 hour is where I'm kind of seeing some stuff here. Again, I've got a bearish bias, so I'm looking to see some areas of resistance that I think price may bounce off of. Just looking at what happened in pre-market, we can see here we've got price came up to 13,425-ish level and pushed off of it. I can see here a very nice low volume node. Low volume nodes for me are areas of support and resistance. And I can also see the upper band on the 1 hour right there at 13,450. So for me, that's going to be a big level up here. We got a couple points. That is about 425 to 450, 25 point range there. So what I can see happening is price coming up, and we poke through pre-market highs. We get some bullish trapped up there, and then we come back down. That would be kind of what I would be looking for. So what I'm going to wait to do is watch to see if price wants to come up to this level. And then I'll be looking at cumulative delta and also to see if some bearish structure starts forming on lower time frames in the 500 volume chart. You would probably be looking to get out around 13,300. I think it could maybe drop past that down into here or even possibly lower. I think it'll get down there at some point this week, but this would be kind of my target somewhere in here. Taking that, that would probably be a safe trade and plenty of points for me to pick up for 100 points in there. I'm just looking to get like 20 points. So I'm a scalper. I'm not looking to hold this thing for too long. So that would be kind of my trade, watching price come up here if it wants to do that, and then taking a short on the way back down. My exit would be around here. If price did want to break VWAP and start falling even more, you might be able to get a short down here, but I could also see price kind of chopping around on its way down. And I guess it would just make this kind of downward structure and you would trade that. But I think it would probably fall pretty hard through this area. So that, let's see here. That blue box I just drew is up on all the charts now. You can see it up here. So we'll see if price wants to move, make its way up there in the first, hour or so. 30 minutes, maybe not even that, maybe 15 minutes. It just shoots up there and then shoots down. That would be a similar situation what we had like yesterday, where we had price, looking bullish and then just rolling over. And a lot of that's, for me, is going to be on watching Delta here, Cumulative Delta, time and sales data, to see if we get some buying coming in up at this level. Or sorry, selling coming in at this level. There's really not much for me to do in this area. I can see VWAP in here. We're chopping around VWAP. We don't want to get chopped up at VWAP. And if it just started to push lower, I would even be hesitant to take a short if we came lower. I mean, my trade really is to try to get a short up here somewhere. That's not to say when the market opens, my plan changes based on what's going on. But right now, I'm probably going to try to sit on my hands and see if price wants to come up to this level. We are green this morning. We're right at VWAP, so that's not telling me much. And we're positive delta, but I am anticipating this thing may want to come down. There is a support area down here. I mean, if this thing really starts looking bearish, like Delta's just tanking, Delta's making new lows, this would be like my target area to get out if I was going to take a scalp somewhere down here. If we started breaking some of these levels and moving down, I would probably be looking to get out at 13,150-ish. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at this morning. Taking a short up here at my blue box. My blue box correlates to the upper band on the 1 hour, plus pre-market highs, plus this low volume node here on the weekly volume profile. I think if there's something else I want to look at. Oh, I was going to look at economic releases. Got 3 minutes. I'm not seeing anything this morning. Nothing's coming out today. What about tomorrow? Some crude stuff's coming out tomorrow. That doesn't really involve me. CPI comes out on Thursday, so that'll be relevant to us trading the Nasdaq. CPI is inflation numbers. So Thursday, we don't really have anything until Thursday. The other thing I wanted to look at was what's going on. I guess I could throw this over on my screen so you guys can see it too. I can just show you what I was looking at. I look at this. I used to trade Forex. I've talked about that before. I still just use this economic calendar because I'm just used to it. So I can see here, filter it out, filter it's for US. And we can come down here and just do medium and high. Filter, the way that works. Oh, I didn't do week. This week, I think apply all this stuff again. No, good. All right, so Thursday, this is a day on stuff is probably going to come out. This is Eastern time. So CPI, Consumer Price Index, that's going to be big for us. And initial jobless claims. So Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Those are going to be some interesting numbers. And then we're going to have on Friday, Michigan Consumer Sentiment, which I talked about before. Michigan Consumer Sentiment. You may see price spike around that, but it's not a market mover. It's just good to be flat whenever that number comes out. Let's look at what's going on in Europe. Europe's green. Ooh, that's surprising to me. So that's something to keep in mind. Europe's green. All right. So that's interesting to know. Asia is red. Asia's closed. Asia's closed, obviously. It's like o'clock at night there or something. Europe, though, is still open. Europe closes at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. You can see the headline here. What's crude doing? What's crude doing? They had a. I thought this one had like a oil. Maybe that's CNBC. Oil. Brent's up. God, every day, I'm telling you, every day I look at this and oil's up. And I'm not getting in on oil. I don't know why. Don't know why. I don't want to chase it, but man, it hurts watching it every day go up and I'm not in on it. All right, so the market's going to open in about 7 seconds. Unfortunately, I didn't get my coffee refill. We're going to try to relaunch my bear, see if he wants to help out. All right, so yeah, I think because we're positive delta, Europe's up. I think we may get this move up into this area. You can see here price moved down, and we can see delta is not. This looks like a buy. My mic is quieter now. I don't know, is that better? I'm trying to load up my avatar, guy. Maybe my computer's good with it. Is the mic working now? Is it better now? Better now? Let me know if my mic's working. I'm just talking to myself here. Well, I think my bear is not going to be working today. Sorry, guys. Every time I try to connect my thingamabobber, it's not working. So I'm going to stop messing with it and just focus on what's going on here. This does look like it's going to pop up. I'm not going to take a trade right now, but okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you telling me my mic's working. So Zachariah, do we have to copy your trade? No, I would not copy my trade. This is just to show you kind of how I trade, and really I started these videos to do like trade journaling, and it's just kind of morphed into what it is now, which is just kind of live streaming. I used to not live stream at all. I used to just record my trades and then post them on YouTube, and I would get like 12 views or something, if that. And now it's just kind of turned into this. So I was thinking that this was gonna be bullish. You can see all that selling coming through on that. It looks like it may want to roll over now. So I don't want to get chopped up in this. I'm gonna see if it what it does here. And you can look at this as an overnight volume profile. So if you want to see what chart, I got a ton of charts up here, but really what I do is pre-market, I'm looking at this chart and I'm looking at this chart pre-market. I will also sometimes look at this chart during the market open, but here on these higher time frame charts, I'm marking out levels that are interesting to me. This is a weekly volume profile, so it's giving me a bigger picture of what's going on this week. So I'm marking off levels on my 4-hour, daily, and 1 hour. And then when the market opens, I'm really just looking at my 5-minute, 1 minute, and the 500 volume. And you can see what charts are what. Either up here, you can see here, 240 minutes of 4-hour, or you can look down here on the tabs. And I've got some other ones open, but that I like to peek at. So like sometimes I'll look at like a 30-minute, if it's like 9:30 and I just want to see how that candle closed. Or, you know, at 9:15, I want to see how that candle, the 15-minute closed. And then here I've got a 500 tick, which has an overnight volume profile. And again, I'll just take a look at it just to get more information. But really, what I'm looking at when I'm actively trading is 5-minute, 1 minute, 500 volume, those 3 charts. Trying to find setups on those. And different strategies come into play with different ones. So for me, like I can see here, we're hitting the bottom end of the band here on the 5-minute, and Delta's staying flat. So I'm thinking this might be a buy, that this short, this maybe it's not a buy. I shouldn't say it's a buy because I have bearish bias on the thing today, but it's not a short. I think that this is finished. So that's not to say it's not going to bust to the downside and shoot down 100 million points, but I'm just looking for my trading opportunities. I don't know what it's going to do all the time. I just try to find a few high probability opportunities in the morning, each morning. So if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you guys. If you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe dealio. I know it always sounds cheesy. Everybody's trying to get people to subscribe, but it really does help. It helps the algorithm. It helps get the videos out. It's completely free. And if the content, you don't like it anymore, you can always unsubscribe at any time. I do, super easy, but it really helps me. And I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think I've got like 862 right now, which doesn't seem like a lot, and I get that. But as I said yesterday, I just put these videos up one day. I did no marketing. Now we can see that move up. I did no marketing, nothing. I didn't tell any friends, no family, and I just slowly over the course of, God, 10 months now or something, it's turned into this. So now we're getting this move up. A lot of shorts getting squeezed on that, getting pushed up again. When this move came down, you could see Delta just staying flat. So for me, I didn't want to take it long because I've got my bearish bias going on. This looks like some news came out. That thing's moving too aggressively up. Say I don't want to take a buy. I may see a price wants to move up some more. This looks super, super duper aggressive. If we break that high, I'm wondering if it wants to just give me a pop up to 72 or something like that. You see Delta coming in down there. Well, man, this thing is crazy. I think I gotta see. The thing is, when I see this big move down, what I wanted to see is this thing break that high and then start ripping up to that level that we had marked out. And I wasn't originally going to get in on it, but that just looked too bullish. And that looked like some news came out, like Ukraine had. I'm gonna take that off though. Ukraine and Russia had come to a deal. I thought that was just gonna rip up to this up here. It's looking bullish. Yeah, the oil embargo thing with Biden. But I wonder if markets already priced that in. The market usually has already made the move by the time it hits mainstream. So I wonder, when we had that if you saw that big gap down we had on over the weekend, I think that news was probably already leaked out to most people. And then if you also saw oil open up on Sunday night, if you saw oil open up Sunday night, it was the same deal. Oil had a massive gap up on the open Sunday, and I think the market's already priced that in. So that's one of the reasons I'm staying out of oil. I feel like as soon as I get in oil, it's going to be, it'll just shoot down. It'll be, we've opened oil reserves. Saudi Arabia is going to open up reserves, increase production. It always happens every time I get in a trade. I'm just being a little bit sarcastic, but it seems that this thing's chopping around, chopping right around VWAP. Nothing for me to do in here. Kind of miss my bear guy. Poor bear. So I appreciate everybody who sent me an email yesterday. What I was talking about yesterday, I was trying to do is I want to try to create like a intro beginners course, so people who just find the stream, they kind of know what we're doing on here. I think a lot of people don't know like what futures are, or what future trading is, how it differs from trading equities or options or any of that stuff. Also, like just basics of volume profile. You don't really need to go into super in-depth, understand everything, but just kind of understand the concepts of what we're looking at. Now it's looking like it's about ready to fall. This is you could get chopped up on this super easy. You know, you break support here and you feel like it's gonna come down, and then we just whip back up here and then whip back down. It's really difficult to trade this for me right now. It looks like it's gonna come down. You can see Delta there moving lower. So I appreciate everybody sending me comments. I did do a little bit of research on like existing trading courses just to see like what else is out there. And God, there's a ton of them. But I found some interesting stuff. Starting to fall here. Here it comes. I don't want to get stuck down here though. I'm not going to chase it down here. So we're breaking that. So anyways, I'm still working on building out that curriculum, and I appreciate people that had emailed me with ideas or questions. I'm actually going to pull it up right now. Maybe I can talk about it. I'm waiting for this thing to give me a really clear signal. Right now, it looks like it wants to. Yeah. Just. So a lot of great questions from last night. So I've had a lot of questions about Bollinger Bands. And to be fair, I'm not an expert in Bollinger Bands. I use them and I understand like the math calculation, but I don't think they work on every instrument. I used to try to use them like on the ES, and I didn't find they worked very well on the ES. And I used to use them on Forex, and I also didn't find they worked very well on Forex. And I don't particularly like indicators in general. But for whatever reason, I like using Bollingers on Nasdaq, and I like to just use them for entries and exits. So there's a ton of information on the internet about Bollinger Bands. It's a very common trading tool. It's been around forever. It's not, this is not revolutionary to me, or I'm not some great trader by using them. A lot of people use them. And you could probably be fine taking them off, to be honest. And I've thought about taking them off before. But, don't mess with something if it's working for you. So like right here, I can see, if we break this high, I think we may come up here and come up here to 40. It's coming up. There, we're coming right up to that 40 level. So I'd be getting out here because at the top of the bands on both of these guys. Up. We can see here how price is breaking new highs, but Delta is not. Delta, something to be aware of. That's not to say we're not going to rip up here to this level at this point. But it's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to make its way up here and have Delta divergence on it. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. See Delta really coming through on that. This might be your Delta divergence. We're gonna miss this. Let's see if we get. Fumbling with this order here. This thing is just moving like nobody's business. You can see that selling coming through. I'm looking for just like a little sell signal here on my 500 volume. I might jump in here on that. I'll have to get out here at like 52 if we don't get a move down. But I'm seeing Delta drop in. I'll just get out there. 236. It's probably gonna fall now. There it goes. Whatever. I don't want to get chopped up in this. I probably would have got chopped up on that. Although the bottom of the band there on the 500 volume could have been my target. But you definitely want to get out 53. This thing could rip up 50 points. Why you sneeze? Thinking of something a little cruder to say, but I didn't. Has anyone had issues with placing orders? Cesaric, are you using Rhythmic? Like, are you using one of the evaluation accounts? If you are, if NinjaTrader is basically funneling your order to Rhythmic or to a broker, then sometimes there's a disconnect there, and that's happened to me too. Yeah, you want to make sure you have RTrader Pro open at all times so that you can go in there and cancel that order out. It could be that NinjaTrader can't cancel that order in RTrader. You may be in the trade and you don't know it. So you just want to make sure that's open. It looks like we may come down a little bit here. Now we see Delta moving down. Trying to find an area. 05. See, there's this LVN right here. Low volume node that I think is acting a little bit like support. Trying to find an area that I think price is going to move pretty easily, quickly through. VWAP. I don't know. You can also see that little LVN here on the overnight. And you can see how that's acting as support. So I need it really to come down to 12, 11, 12, and then I guess you would get out. I mean, I guess that's 10 points, right? I guess you take what you get. You take what you get. If we get that. 97.25. I need that LVN to break. But we're seeing here, Delta moving lower. So I think if this support here breaks, you'll get a pop, at least a VWAP, maybe more, but then your exit's got to be, well, your exit would have to be pretty quick. It would probably, I don't know if I'd have a certain level I'd get out at on this, or if it's just a price doesn't move through it quickly, I'm just going to close out manually. We make new highs, I'm also going to take this order off. Watching Delta down here. I think it might hit. Ooh, this is a little tight. You can see the buyers coming in there. I'm going to take that off. I don't like it because, shoot. Yeah, I do want to. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't take it. I should have. That would have gone. Dang it. Ah. Oh, I'm so afraid of here. The worst that could happen. 83 would be my next level here. I drew, that's a 20 SMA on the 5-minute. You can see price reacting to it right there. Well, we missed that one. It would have been easy $500. Oh man, now I'm kind of beating myself up for missing that one trade. Hmm. I'm not seeing it here. I mean, this looks like it wants to come down here, right? But I'm just watching Delta. This was such this would have been a good one. The Delta divergence was coming in. I don't know if it's Delta divergence. As price was consolidating, Delta was dropping. That would have been a good trade. And now I'm just trying to make up for missing that trade. So oh boy, what am I gonna do? I want to get some more coffee, but I'm gonna come back and this thing's gonna move far away. Now we can see price coming low and Delta starting to make some bullish structure. Very bearish candle though on the 1 minute. I wish I could trade. I wish I could trade like live stream, like real live stream. There's a small latency. There's a small delay in this, about like 2 seconds, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, maybe 3 Mississippi. Why wouldn't you take any trades if you're using Apex? Apex rhythmic connection is broken. Oh, right now or just in general? Does it usually have issues? When I was doing Apex, there was a couple mornings that I couldn't. It took me a while to get connected. I'm using. I'm right now. I'm connected to MES Capital, and it took me a second to get connected. I was having issues. Maybe rhythmic. Maybe rhythmic's down. May not have anything to do with the Well, we're getting that punch down. I'm not seeing a good opportunity for me, though. It could be rhythmic having issues. It does happen. Happens more than you think it would. Yeah, MES Capital is through one up. It's there. Prop trading extension. Oh man, did that news just come out, David? Should have bought oil. They should have bought oil. Oh, the only good thing is that maybe you can short it in 6 months, 4 months. It's in play. That's for sure. You want to trade things that are in play. I mean, the indices are always going to be in play. Well, I mean, not so much. Like in the summer, that's one reason I started trading the Nasdaq was because the summer was so slow in the ES. I mean, it was painful on the ES to trade it. So I switched over to Nasdaq because it was actually moving, and I've never looked back. This is all looking so bearish. I mean, look where I took this short up here, although I would have been stopped out on this move. But now it's making new lows. I think this thing's going to break. So if this thing starts really moving down, I mean, this would be my target to get out down here at 13,155. I would try to pick up a scalp in here somewhere. May have to endure some drawdown because price may come down, then want to come back up and then come back down. It looks like it wants to break this support level. You can see Delta moving negative. We turned negative on the day. Never quite came up to my blue box, did it? Didn't quite hit my blue box, but Biden sent a talk at at 9:40. Thank you for telling me that. I gotta turn on CNBC. I want to see what Jim Cramer's yelling about. Thank you, Prima. That is massive. He's gonna be talking about oil. He's gonna be talking about the gas pump. Well, we're not breaking that level. Jeez, 175 on oil. Coming right up to this trend line, which we've got drawn out there on the 500 volume. Another reason why I like using the 500 volume. You can see here on the 1 minute how that trend line's broken, but on the 500 volume, it's holding. I just find 500 volume more reliable. So this would be actually a false breakout on the 1 minute. I think if it gets to 17, she's going to drop. You can see Delta there moving lower. I may try to get out. If this trade triggers, then I would probably try to get out right at 13.2 because I think there'll be a bounce. the topic of Biden's speech, he's going to officially announce the ban on Russian oil. And he'll probably come in and he'll say something to alleviate concerns about gas prices. He'll probably have something about, opening up oil reserves or increasing imports from Middle Eastern countries or something like that. He said, we've already talked to our OPEC partners and they will begin increasing production, blah, blah, blah. So I got that short down there at 217 down to 0.05. I'm wondering if this level wants to break, this support area wants to break, if it wants to start moving down. But I don't like all this hesitation down here at the support area, at local support, at session support. It should move pretty quick. If it doesn't, get out of it. There. 708. So I wanted to get out at 13.2. It's also the bottom of the band there on the 1 minute, if you can see that. So all right, guys, I'm gonna get some coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Anything happen? Yeah, moving lower, huh? We got that target down here at the bottom of the band. Let's see if we get some sort of bearish signal. I'm trying to see if I can find a decent place to get short without getting crushed. Well, we may just have to jump in on this. I think it's going to move without me here. What's my target? 50? I need to pull back. I almost jumped in on up there at 190. I should have done that. Bouncing off of 175. Yeah, Iran can save the day. This thing's going to be at 150 before I know it. Got a little high there, I think. A lot of selling coming through there on Delta. Get out there. I don't like that hesitation. I don't like how slowly it's going. I wanted like a quick move. Well, guys, I'm trading my P&L. You know what happens when I trade my P&L? Got all that Delta selling. It would have come down to my price, huh? Bummer. This thing's about ready to... Now we're bouncing right off the... You can see how it touched the bottom of the band there on the 1 hour and immediately found some support. That's not to say we're not going to keep falling, because this is probably some fundamental news that's starting to push it down. Our next target would be 13,000. Down here at the bottom of the band on the 4 hour. Better traders than me are probably holding this thing. Can't bring myself to hold it. I'm just a scalper, a lonely, lonely scalper. Oops, I hit the mic, sorry. So I would say that this area of support would now be, resistance, but because it's the bottom, because it's a band, I don't think that that's going to be resistance. The only way that I would probably try to find another short on it, holding short at 13.2, good. I needed to come up and give me a short signal. I don't want to get in too low on it. I've been burned on this stuff so bad before. Yeah, I would be exiting here if I was holding a short. Although I'm probably wrong. This thing will probably keep falling. There's some with Biden talking, this thing may come down or act crazy. I was just pointing out here this LVN that is acting as resistance here on that. Gets through, if it gets up above this, that's pushing up. Yeah, the thing's gonna act wonky before Biden talks. So could be short sellers getting out, getting flat, not wanting to be stuck in a trade when Biden announces something. So it may just be better to call it a day, 9:55, and listen to what Biden has to say. Maybe trade reaction to that if you want. If you know, that might be something. Listen to CNBC here. They're talking about Europe going into a recession. Got my little calculator up. Ooh. Coming up to that 20 SMA here on the 1 minute. Be interesting to see if you get like a bear candle. You know, do you want to short it again? You know, a short 64, try to get 10 points down to 50. No, that's not on. That is not on. You can see Delta popping there on that pullback. Not popping, but not moving down. That's not to say we don't come down. I think we, you know, this trade was breaking into support and maybe trying to take a little pop into this area, a little scalp. Again, I'm trading my P&L. I'm trying to get over 1,000, to be honest with you, which is a horrible idea. But, you know, I was waiting for a pullback on this thing. It's a little pullback. You could maybe get, yeah. Now I'd be in on it. I'd be nervous right there, huh? Well, I'm glad I didn't take that. I'd be closing out right here, I think. Although it might come down. Might come down again. No. So Watching that delta. I mean, it's not that bearish anymore. Moving up. See if delta makes a high here. If we start consolidating on delta. What about well, I wish I could get more insight into this. Yeah, I don't see how it goes any higher either, David, except I think it's just a reaction to Biden talking. And if we looked at what happened yesterday, if I could look at what happened yesterday, oh, maybe a 30-minute might give me better perspective. So this was yesterday, what happened. There was, yeah, right here, this instance. We saw a big move down, and then it came up before it made another leg down. You know, at some point it's going to want to come up a little bit. We are hitting the bottom of this band here, also on the 30-minute. So I think it's just finding some support and needing to come up for a minute, but I don't think there's any fundamental at all that's going to drive it up. This is simply, you know, a market retracement here. Hitting this level. That was the support that we shorted on the breakdown. Support may now be resistance, but I think it might have room up to 13,250 up here at top of the band on the 1 minute. Also, 20 SMA on the 5 minute, VWAP, all that stuff up there. I think that people are, you know, short sellers are taking profit. People are closing out of their positions before Biden talks, and it's just, you know, a smart thing to do is not try to trade around his announcement. Wish I could find a good trade opportunity here, but it ain't happening. Maybe a short up at 13,250, maybe. Looking a little bearish here, but not much. Still think it's got, nope, now we got that band pinching, and maybe we're gonna get this pop. Oh, here comes some selling. Delta dropping. Is it a short or a pullback? Looking like a pullback. Get a bullish candle here. Price breaks higher up to 50. I don't think it's going to be following the rules until after Biden talks. Boom, big pop. I don't know, something was leaked. This is going to be crazy to trade, guys. I'm not going to trade this. Anybody trading? So yeah, Timothy. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat now, guys. Sorry. I do have the 500 tick. So I like most traders was using a tick chart. So when I first started, so I'll give you a little history of my trading. When I first started trading futures, I was trading the ES and I was using a 2000 tick chart on that, and I liked it. It was fine. But then like I said, in the summer of 2020, the ES just slowed down so much. I mean, it was so slow, painful to trade. So I switched over to the NQ. NQ is a lot faster, obviously. And I wanted to also use a tick chart because I like the tick chart on the ES. And I think a lot of people use 2000 tick charts on the ES. And so I just did a little bit of research, and somebody was like, well, 500 tick chart's better on the ES because it moves faster, and so you should, use that. So anyways, I just used the 500 tick, and I found it okay. And then I started doing a lot more research on volume profile, and and whatever I read was like, well, why don't you use, if you're using volume, like if you have like a volume theme, basically, they didn't use those terms, but basically that was it, use your candles as the volume theme as well. Why don't you try volume candles? So I tried volume candles, and I just found that they worked better. They were more reliable. And, just like I pointed out over here, if you're using this 1 minute, the break of that trend line on the 1 minute, which we had right here, was a false breakout. But on the 500 volume, that trend line held perfectly. So I just find 500 volume great. And I keep the 500 tick up here just to get confirmation sometimes of a trade, particularly if I'm looking at trying to get a really precise pinpoint entry. I'll be looking over here for confirmation on that. For instance, if I was looking to go short, I would be on the 500 volume and may peek over here to see what the 500 tick chart candle was like. If I was looking to go short up here on something like that, and you could see that, okay, we got a little doji there. Okay, that confirms it. And then I also have over here, this is the overnight volume profile. So it's just a lot. It's just more information. I don't use it all the time, but I like to have it handy in case I want to take if I'm looking to take a trade and just want, a second opinion on something, basically. And down now, coming down off of VWAP, value area high. Got a little bit of a fan trend line situation going on. Yeah, Timothy, I don't know if that answers your question so much. I basically got it up there because it's up there, and I like to look at it once in a while. Not much difference between a 500 tick and 500 volume, but enough. This candle here in the 5 minute looks too aggressive. Hey, Texmar. My settings are I can just pull it up real quick. I'm not gonna take this trade. So here's my Bollinger settings: 2 standard deviations and a 20 period. That's it. I think Ninja Trader's default might be 14 here, so you want to change that to 20. Oh, the other thing I was doing yesterday when I was trying to research these trading courses, and just trying to get like a basically structure of some ideas what's included in it. I found a lot of new YouTube channels for futures trading. I don't know. What do you guys use? Who do you guys watch? I mean, obviously you're watching this right now, but do you guys watch anybody else, or what other channels do you guys subscribe to that you find helpful? I know a lot of people do Trades by Matt, and I think Bye Money is also getting more popular. He trades ES and sells an indicator. I also found a lot of people sell stuff. Jeez. I found this one woman who's like selling 50 different things, different levels of membership, different memberships, indicators. She trades on MetaTrader. I'm like, what the F is going on with this? Whoever's trading futures on MetaTraders. Oh. She's probably trading CFDs. Coming down to this trend line, we've broken through it on the 500 volume. Trader Tom. I know Trader Tom. He's a like Norwegian guy, right? Norwegian or Danish, I think. I saw a video of him a while ago. I'm gonna look him up. He was talking about trader psychology, and he got me super pumped. Yeah, I know Trader Tom. This guy's like, you gotta be mentally strong or be prepared to make and lose millions to make millions or something. I don't know. But he trades naked, I remember, and he's just like, I go short and then or he goes one way, and if it's working for him, he adds to it, and then he's willing to take Matt. He's kind of like Trader Matt, or what is it, Matt by Trades by Matt, where it's like, I'm gonna jump in one way and ride it out and without much thought, just kind of my gut and hope for the best. And if it works for me, I'm a genius. If it doesn't work for me, well, so be it. I'm watching Delta here drop. We've broken through this trend line. I see a support area forming here. I'm wondering if we pop down into this little high volume node, that we're just going to get, a little scalp out of this. I can just see Delta continuing to drop. And I think if we pin through here on the 1 minute, but I think if it starts to move lower, it's going to want to open up the downside again. I may take it off. I don't know. I'm not sold 100% on it, particularly because the band here on the sky is right at my level, but we are moving lower on it. Now close below the 20 SMA. On the 1 minute. Just watching it. Again, just a little scalp here, guys. So 1 minute's closing pretty bearish, hopefully. Got Delta coming through on that push to the downside there. This looks pretty bearish here on the 1 minute. I'm not seeing Delta really moving up with that move, so I haven't closed out yet. Not as quick as I want it to be here, is it? I'm getting out there. Well, I made my 1,000, but I should have held on to it. So I didn't close out. If I would have seen Delta here making highs, I would have closed out on that move. But I had my finger on Control Z. You definitely, I don't know. It may come back down again. I'm not really seeing aggressive buying. But that last trade wasn't the best one. It would have hit my take profit though. I think it was right there at 78. You do, Daniel? You trade futures on MT4. How do you find that? How do you find trading futures on a MT4 platform? I thought you could only trade futures on MT5. I'd love to hear more about that. I used to really like MetaTrader when I traded on Forex. Super simple. One thing I found is I don't know if you can do volume. I don't know how the data works on MetaTrader. Can you connect it with like Rhythmic and other futures data providers? It's on Ava Trade EU Limited. Are those CFDs or those futures? I think you might be talking about CFDs, contracts for difference, which are not allowable in the US. You can't trade CFDs in the US. You can get around it. You can get around it. I've traded CFDs. If you like to know how to get around that and trade CFDs, I could probably tell you. I don't know if it's exactly SEC legal. They may shut me down. I'm sure they're monitoring me every second. It's a joke. Is this the point of control down here? I never think I've seen that. Like a point of control right there at this value area low. Volumetric bars, Prima. So Daniel, you are trading futures. That's cool, man. Are you in the US or are you in Europe or somewhere else? I don't know. Volumetric bars. I don't use volumetric bars. I don't know. They're in the order flow suite. UK. Yeah, I don't know if it's different in the UK or not. That's cool, man. If it works for you, it works for you. I am not a trader elite or a snob about it. If you find something that works for you and you makes money for you, you should do that. We can see here price is now coming down to lows, session lows, but look where Delta is. See that where that corresponds, and this over here. So I don't know if that's telling me anything. With Biden talking in 10 minutes, it's probably not telling me much. Yeah, my breakout trades, I usually put them at levels and numbers. Like I wouldn't, 30s for me are big levels, so I wouldn't put my breakout trade right here at 30 because I think it might bounce off of 30, and particularly that Delta's not making new lows, even though it's coming down now. You can also see the 1 hour bands now opened up down to 100 almost. That's just not to say it's not going to drop, but I just that's not a good trade for me. Yeah, I'll put it, maybe a couple points away from that level, but really I need Delta confirmation. I want to see Delta making new, like as price is like approaching that level. I would like to see Delta making lows or new lows of the day, you know, just really see some aggressive selling or buying towards that level, or highs if I'm thinking about taking a long. I don't have like a set system. Like I'm not like I take it 3 points away or 2 points away from whatever level. So we can also see over here on the 4 hour. Take a look real quick. Off some of these levels that I don't think are relevant. This is where we're looking about going short this morning. Remember that? So I think that this red line right here is now the bottom of the band on the 1 hour. It's opening up to the downside. I think that if we get through this support area, it's really going to open up 13,000. And we can see that on the 4 hour. Can it get down there today? It's down 1%. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. All right, so you guys like Trader Tom. I'm gonna subscribe to Trader Tom here. Check him out. Oh, so what should you guys say? Yeah, 2% days are just normal. I mean, that's how you can kind of gauge of what the range on this thing might be. Is that we haven't hit 2% yet. Hey, PD Legend. Raghy Horner? No, I don't know who that is. I'll check him out. Ooh, a Forex trader? I'm not a Forex trader. Forex is the worst. Is this a Forex trader? It doesn't look like Forex. What is she? Oh, futures. Okay. Futures, my clearing range entry explained. Oh, I'll follow. I'm always interested in learning new stuff. Although you don't want to like mess with it too much. You got something that's working for you, don't mess with it too much. Just refine it and get better at risk management. Better at risk management. Looks like a buy at 76. It's at 98. Not buying it though. Trader Tom. Trader Pro Academy. James, let me check him out. Oh, I've seen this guy. I saw this guy a long time ago. He's got 62,000 subscribers now. I remember this guy from forever ago. Subscribe to this guy. Ooh, he's an options trader. Ooh, I don't like options. I'll still sub to him. I remember watching him like 2 years ago when I first started scouring the internet for information on trading. Termos Capital. I saw Termos Capital. Holy shit, that guy. That guy's more George Papazov. George Papazov is the Trader Pro Academy, so I just subbed him. See what he's got going on in life. Termos Capital cracks me up. I want to see this guy. Yeah, I know you're joking, Calvin. This guy is in, holy shit. I don't know if this guy's for real or not. I can't tell if this guy's just a joke. Like, is he just joking? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, you can watch him just for entertainment. I feel like he's a comic, like a comedian that's doing this like to be funny. He's like in his parents' garage trading 50 contracts, 50 lots. His P&L should be like $180,000 a day trading that size. If he's it's got to be a sim. If it's not a sim, I feel really bad for him. Like if he inherited some money and he's trading this size, shit, guy's gonna end up on the street ASAP. Oh, his parents will probably let him stay at home for a little bit longer. Margin available 160. I'm just looking at his thing. This has got to be sim. How can you tell if it's a sim on Trade of 8? Anybody know? Total profit 610,000. Oh no, all trades. He's down 33 grand on the month. Oh, he's trading like 20 lots on the Nasdaq. This is bullshit. It's funny though. It's totally funny. Yeah, Calvin, I only watch him for entertainment too. This guy. Holy smokes. Anyways, I hope it's a joke. Or at least he's trading sim. This looks like it's going to pop up a little bit. All right, so Biden's going to talk in 3 minutes. He'll be late though. I'm going to go get some coffee and I'll be back. Maybe we'll see how the market reacts to his talk. All right, guys, I'm back. So Looking a little more bullish here. I think price is just coming up for some air. I can see it breaking this level right here and then popping up into here, maybe. Maybe make some move up. Some more resistance up here. Only reason I say that is because Delta's now forming a little bit bullish structure. But with Biden talking, this thing's going to do whatever it wants to do. Oscar Carboni. Let me see who this guy is. Oh, I'm going to subscribe to Termos Capital. This poor guy. I'll probably skip Oscar. He looks a little too used car salesman-y for me. Oliver Velez. Check out Oliver. I'm just waiting. I don't know about Oliver. Anybody who's all about, man, he's got 243,000 subscribers. Who is this guy? Become a trading specialist. I want to see people who trade live. I feel like there's a ton of people out here who have bought trading courses. They've been trading for years. They've never been successful at it. Then they're like, I'm going to take all this knowledge that I haven't been able to apply successfully, and I'm going to sell it to others. I'm going to repackage it and sell it to others and sell a lifestyle. This guy seems like he's just trading a dream. I bet he, I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna crap on him too much here. Oh. Oliver was charged with fraud. I'm not surprised. You know, a lot of them sell stuff, and I don't mind if you sell stuff. Like if you've spent years developing some system or you've spent a ton of time in the markets and gone through a lot of pain and struggle with it, lost a lot of money, and now you're finally successful and you think that you've got some value that other people's would benefit from. I don't mind people selling that as long as it's good. You know, but if you're just selling, if you are not successful, you have no trades up on your website, on your YouTube or website or whatever, and you're just selling some Lambo dream and you're taking advantage of people, and that's how you're making your money, is by being dishonest, then then I got a problem. You know, I don't like that. I don't think anybody likes that, obviously, but there's a lot of people like that. There's this one woman who I like Corbs, actually. I've seen Corbs. He's I don't know if I subscribe to him anymore, but when I first started trading, he's one of the few people that uses volume profile, and I feel like he's pretty legit. I'm actually gonna subscribe to him again if I'm not already. Corbs, this guy. You can check him out. I don't think he trades live, but he does do some like trade recaps, and yeah, I don't know if he's super successful or not. I think he's probably like everybody, you know, in that he's got some strategy. He's trying to refine the strategy, but some of the stuff he says about the volume profile, I think is useful. Particularly, there's not a lot of information about volume profiles out there. So I think he's got some value. He also sells something, I think. I think a lot of people do. But anyways, this one woman who I won't name, who I stumbled across yesterday, she's from the UK. Man, she was selling a ton of stuff. It was like she just wanted to sell you something. I mean, she would take as little as $5 from you for something. She had merchandise. I mean, she had no trades on her site, no trades at all. She claimed to be like a professional trader, and she knew all the jargon. She definitely knew all the language, but there was nothing. I mean, no real evidence that she was successful at what she was doing. And it was something like $30. She was like wanting like $30 a month, I think. And you would be able to sit in on her pre-market analysis, her market analysis once a week. And, once a week. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, you want me to share her? Who is she? Let me see. Let's see if I can find her again. Man, I don't know. I didn't subscribe to her, so hard for me to. How would I even? I guess my history on the YouTube. So here's interesting. We got of this pullback, and we can also see Delta going along with that. So you might want to. I might want to look for this trend line to break. But with Biden talking in 5 minutes, I'm not going to trade it. Oh, here, Market Stalkers. Her name is Market Stalkers. Now, maybe I'm wrong about her. If anyone watches her, I apologize. But yeah, I don't know. She definitely has the lingo down. I don't see any trades on her site though. Market Stalker. Market Stalkers. Sorry. Member, so if you're a member only, then you can see some of her. I don't know if this is a trade. I don't think she's even trading. She's just doing like Q&A sections and market overview analysis stuff. You need to see if people know how to trade or not. That's what I want to see. I've heard Carmine Rosato is good too. I think that yeah, he trades options. So, but I heard he was good. Yeah, she was interviewed on Top Step. But Top Step, is trying to do social media marketing. So I don't blame people who've got enough subscribers. They probably want to get them on. Biden talking yet? CNBC doesn't have them. I'm not trading around Biden talking. We're seeing see price popping here. I thought that was going to be a short on that move, but now it's moving up. Delta's not coming along with it though. Look at this move. Look at that move, and then look at Delta. I don't know. It tells me that President Biden's about to talk, and the market's gonna not follow rules. Oh, we're now not going to ban it. Oh, let's see what Biden says here. That's interesting. There's this other guy that I found, Thomas Crowlow. He's a interesting guy. He's also selling the lifestyle. He's got some videos where he makes some sense. He sounds like perfectly reasonable, and he's got other videos where he's driving around and renting Lambos and you know, yachts and doing stuff. He's really big into Bitcoin, which I don't know. Red flag for me too. I watched a couple of his earlier videos. He's got some earlier videos that actually sounded pretty reasonable. And he did in one video. I remember he actually mentioned, he was like, "Look, I think some of the stuff that we do on the channel is pretty ridiculous too, with all this fancy flashy stuff. But that's what sells. That's what gets people to the channel." He's like, "I do videos that are really informative and educational, and some people might think of as boring, but they provide a lot of value to real traders. Or I can do a video where I'm driving around in a $200,000 Lamborghini, drinking champagne, and that gets 10 times the amount of social media engagement." He sells a course, of course. Thomas Wade, I've seen Thomas Wade too. So he does the ES. He does a lot of just price action on the ES. Yeah, he's totally bipolar. I think he started his channel out as trying to be serious. I mean, he wants to be a trading guru, right? But I think it was supposed to be really educational and serious, and then it's just devolved into him living in Dubai. He buys all this like gold shit. Like he goes to he was like furnishing his house and went and bought like gold trash cans, and I don't know, just ridiculous. Be ready long. You think so? Is CNBC still saying we're going to ban it? Has that changed? Where do you find your where are you finding this news that we're not banning it anymore? I'm just asking. David, do you know where you saw that? I'm trying to find it. The one thing I will say is on this big move up, see Delta actually is moving lower. So I don't know. Think your swim news feed? Oh, why can't Joe Biden just be on time? Yeah, David, I just sat down. Yeah, he's always late. I just sat down. That's so funny you said that. I got up for a second and I sat back down and I saw he's still not out. And I'm like, he's late for everything, always. Jeez. So I was marking at some levels if I start to see price moving through them to take shorts. That 20 SMA on the 5 minute for me is going to be interesting. There's also this small LVN there, if you can see that on the 5 minute chart. Well, what time is it? 10. So this 1 hour just closed. We got the 20 SMA there at 13,290. On the 1 hour, I think if it got through this 13,230 level, 13,220, there might be a scalp in there. 20 or 30 points right here for me. I can see there's this volume node right there. We'd break the 20 SMA in the 5 minute, and then I might be able to just take a pop in here. That might be something interesting from the way that I trade. But it's got to get down there first. Hey, thanks, Cass. I appreciate that. Ross Cameron, Warrior Trading, was probably the first day trading video I ever watched. God, that must have been 5 or 6 years ago now. 6 years ago, maybe? Um, he's super calm. He doesn't let anything affect him. It's awesome. I mean, he's got a really good demeanor for it. Whatever you think about him selling all his courses, I did do the webinar he tries to sell, or he doesn't sell it. The webinar is free. You do the webinar, then it's like a super hard sell to buy the program. And he does do a hard sell after that webinar. I mean, it's like timeshare shit. It's intense. He really wants people to sign up. Um, but he does have a really calm demeanor. And it's helpful. It's helpful to put it in perspective. It's like, well, it's a red day today. There's going to be some red days. Red day recaps. Remember he used to do. Why do I not take the European session in volume? I don't. What do you mean by that? I don't know. There's no like switch for me not to take the European session. This is the volume that's coming through. One thing I didn't like about trading stocks is doing the stock scanner. And he trades massive size. I mean, he's like, who's that guy? Yeah, so my volume is, you talking about my volume profile or my cumulative delta? So the volume profile is US session. This one over here is overnight, so this will take Asia and Europe in consideration. Cumulative delta is also overnight, so that'll take everybody into consideration too. But yeah, this is just a US session volume profile right here. But I mean, it'll take European orders once, it just starts calculating once the US session opens. Volume profile, yeah, so I just do the, this one's an overnight. This one's US session. It's just, I'm just more interested in what's going on during the heavy flow of volume. But I do like having the overnight session when I'm coming in the morning. I like having this overnight session to look at, which is Asia and Europe, just to see levels, like where we're at. Like sometimes if I see, point of control down here near value area low, I may think price may want to start to move away, or vice versa, or if we're at right out of value area low or value area high, or etc. Yeah, so back to warrior trading. Yeah, he also just trades massive size and very small moves on massive size, like 10, 15 cents. So it's not really, it's very difficult to follow along with it. And he uses like super fast data. Like it was a lot of stuff. If you wanted to get like on his, it's not somebody that you could really copy. It was like, you could do the stock screening stuff, but then he would have like 4 or 5 stocks he was watching that day. And he would just take like 7, 10, 15 cents on each one of them, or on one of them, like right at the market open. And it was just too difficult to try to follow. He had basically he would just do both. He does like a gap up strategy. So he would look at stocks that are low float stocks that are gapping up in the morning, and then he would just do basically a pullback strategy. So he would, if we could just say like, if this was the market open, let's say this was Tesla, I don't know, some stock. He wouldn't trade Tesla. He trades like stocks that are under like $12 or something. So if this is some crummy little stock that he found, you get this big impulse up, and then he would trade like this pullback here, and then he would just take it up like that, and then he'd be done for the day. Make 50 grand on it. But it's an enormous amount of size, and it's super quick. And what I don't like about trading stocks is that you've got to find your stock each day. I don't like doing the stock scanner thing. And then when I was trying to do that, this was years ago, is you would try to find that stock, and you'd have 4 or 5 of them up, and you weren't sure which one was going to be the big mover. And some of that you can find using like relative volume. There's some other stock trading strategies, like using relative volume on some sort of fundamental news is a good way to try to find stocks for the morning. You can see Delta here dropping now at this level. I'm wondering if we're going to break 27. It looks very bearish right here, but I don't know if I want to take a short with Biden about ready to start talking. I'm so tempted to take a short on this, but I'm just not going to because it's not smart. Yeah, shorting is harder too on that type of trading those stocks. They're hard to borrow, and you need 25 grand to get around the PDT rule. So I don't know if it's smart to throw 25 grand in an account as a first-time trader. Yeah, futures. I'm telling you, futures are the way to go. Futures, getting around PDT, you've got margin, you've got leverage, and plus now this whole industry of these evaluations, these prop trading evaluations that are out there. I think it's a really good way for people to get into trading with relatively low risk. You pay the $100 or whatever it is for the evaluation, you get data, you get your NinjaTrader license, you get set up. You've got some skin in the game by paying the $100 or having to pay the $100 for the reset. But you're not, risking a large financial amount, your own money. Still waiting for him to talk here. I do too, Jay trades. I swing trade stocks. I do the same thing. I'm all in cash right now, waiting for the market to keep coming down, and I'm going to buy back into it. So what this should want to do is break the 20 SMA on the 5-minute and then come down to the bottom band on the 1-minute down here at 12. But with Biden talking, I just don't know if that's gonna work. Oh yeah, I haven't had too bad of experience with Rhythmic. There's been a few mornings when I can't get connected. I think in the last year, there's been maybe 3 mornings, including this morning, that I couldn't get connected. But Rhythmic does have its issues. But they all do. I mean, Continuum has its issues. CQG has its issues. Hey, Coco. So can you explain the bots and prop trading accounts? I don't know the bots. Oh, I wasn't able to move my order earlier today and got out in a loss. I don't know. I think there's something going on with Rhythmic this morning. You could contact your evaluate. Who were you going through, Coco? Contact the prop trading firm, whoever, or the evaluation company, or always make sure that you've got RTrader Pro up on your system as well. Even if you're trading through NinjaTrader, just make sure you've got RTrader Pro up so that you can manually close out of orders if you need to through them. Frank, Lilu's fine. Which one is best? I don't know. I did a whole video on which one I like, which one I prefer. I should redo that video because it's super long and my sound isn't very good and then kind of ramble in it sometimes. I tend to do, but I think Lilu is fine. Apex. I go with One Up because One Up has a similar rules to all of them, and there's no payout restrictions once you get funded. Lilu and Apex has you basically got to wait 3 or 4 months to really take out any significant amount of money. And One Up, you don't pay data fees once you get funded, so it's kind of nice, particularly when you're first starting out, to not have to fork over another $100 once you get funded, only to blow up that account 2 weeks later and then pay another $100 to start another evaluation. But you can do whichever one works for you. Okay, real money. That's fine. I don't think I've ever actually used CQG, to be honest with you. I use Continuum with my NinjaTrader brokerage and Rhythmic with these funded trader accounts. But I guarantee you CQG has gone down in the past at some point. Biden is never going to talk. Really? Not once in 11 years? Okay. Well, CQG is the way to go. Who can you If you're using, I don't do any of the the evaluation companies use CQG. Who do you trade with? I have CQG and a lot of times it won't connect. Oh, I guess one's getting different experience. They had different issue, but it stayed up. Okay. I don't know, man. So I'm marking out the support area here. 2021. I mean, that was kind of our trade to begin. One down to AMP. Never used AMP. Share Vision, huh, Dave? I'll check that out. I never heard of Share Vision. Thanks for the heads up on that. I appreciate it. They can, oh, this is cool. It's streaming just for traders, huh? I will check that out. Oh my God, Biden's never going to talk. It's 30 minutes late. What's he trying to do? Real money, take it easy, buddy, with the CQG. Use whatever data provider you want. Yeah, but what he's saying is that he uses AMP. He doesn't use one of the evaluation companies. So he's going with it with his own private brokerage. So yeah, even if you had so like with Rhythmic, you can only have one Rhythmic connected to NinjaTrader at a time, but you could have like when I'm doing these evaluations, I'll also have my Continuum NinjaTrader brokerage connected. So I have actually two data connections connected, but when I execute an order through that, through the account that's associated with the evaluation, it's going to go through Rhythmic. And when I execute a trade with my NinjaTrader brokerage, it's going to go through Continuum. So it's just different order executions. But yeah, so you basically have like a double connection if you have CQG and an evaluation hooked up. But you can only have one Rhythmic connection, so you can't have like an evaluation going with Apex and an evaluation going with, OneUp or whoever else at the same time, because you're only allowed to have one Rhythmic connection on your machine. So even like if you go into RTrader Pro and you try to get market data through RTrader Pro and NinjaTrader, it's not going to let you do that. It's going to kick you out. It's going to make you choose which one you want to go through, or it won't let you connect, I should say, with RTrader Pro. But you can look at your orders. That makes sense. Just rambling. Price is popping. This is not looking good for trading, guys. Right now, and Biden is not talking. Where's this guy? What's this guy doing? As soon as I end the live stream, he'll start talking. Yeah, Rhythmic. I think you're right, Real Money. Rhythmic is cheap man's data or something. I don't know why all. Does anybody know why all the prop firms use Rhythmic? I think it's because Rhythmic gives a free 14-day trial. I don't know, maybe something. I was thinking about getting a different data feed, to be honest. Kinetic might be. Is it Kinetic? Or what is it? Yeah, Kinetic. Kinetic. Fast market data, unfiltered. $70 per month. Some of that's just because I want unfiltered data. Pushing down a little bit. We're hitting the bottom of the band there on the 1 minute. Let's see where this 5 minute closes. I don't know. Delta's looking. I mean, the market's just so wonky right now because Biden's set to talk. Well, Rhythmic, you can get a free 14-day trial, and I'm wondering if prop firms somehow leverage that. I don't know how. When you create an account, because like Lilu, you can do the super cheap 14-day Lilu Express, and I'm wondering if they're just giving you like a free Rhythmic, account for that, and you can't reset it or do anything. It's just 14 days, and that's it. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, I mean, I actually have never used UProfit. There's so many of these prop trading firms popping up now. Well, just watching to see what Joe wants to talk about, what Joe's going to tell us. Well, Joe, Sleepy Joe, whatever you want to call him. Oh man, guys, I don't know. Well, guys, I'm probably gonna jump off this thing, and it's 10:30. I don't know. Maybe Joe's gonna come out and give something that's gonna push us around, but I can't wait around for Joe. Delta's moving lower here. What's this 5 minute gonna close? Are we gonna push down to 7 value area low? There might be a pop at this little node right here. Got that close below the 20 SMA and the 5 minute. It's just so tricky with Joe Biden to talk at any second. You know, as soon as he walks out, this thing could shoot up 50 points, shoot down 50 points. He takes a sip of his water, it moves up 100. I don't know. So I'm probably going to sign off on this call today. 1042. I'll probably wait for him to talk, and then I might take a trade after he gets done talking and the market settles down and kind of figures out what it wants to do. So thanks a lot for joining in, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow trading. I'm going to try to trade live every day this week. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You can get notifications about when we do this live thing. Again, hopefully every day this week. And yeah, I appreciate it, guys. You can always shoot me an email. My email is in the About section of the YouTube channel, and I try to reply to those. Or oh, there's Joe. What's Joe gonna say? Glad I didn't take this short because I'd be closing out of it. He's gonna ban it. There it goes. There goes the market. The U.S. is going to ban it, but some of Europe might not. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. You guys can watch Joe. He's not really saying anything to me that the market hasn't priced in at the moment. I'll probably watch this a little bit longer and see after he talks if we get some directional move one way or the other. Maybe if we break session lows and we start to move down a little bit. Like I said, I think we've got this 13,000 area opened up. But we would need to break session lows, get through this level down here, 13,100, and there might be another 30 points or something down here that I could pick up. Right now, we're kind of ranging, it looks like. We are here and here. So, you know, this is right in the middle. I don't think I want to get right in a direction either, right in the middle. So I don't want to take a trade right in the middle of a range. So I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, we're going to be live streaming every day this week. So please like, subscribe. That really helps support the channel. And I really appreciate it. Encourages me to keep doing this every day. I hope you guys are having a successful trading day. And I will see you back tomorrow. Thanks, guys. See you.